Hello and welcome to Happy and Free Yoga with Maureen. And today I have a wonderful guest with me who is my yoga mentor and guru and the woman who has taught me yoga from the beginning, Toni Eaton.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Toni. Toni, you have practiced yoga for like 1,000 years and really helped me find the heart of the practice. And if there ever was a yoga warrior, it's you. I've seen you go through so many different parts of your life during our time together, and seeing how yoga has been part of that journey. So welcome so much. I'm so grateful to have you with me today, and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for
glad
practice.
to be here on this absolutely beautiful morning in the park, on the grass.
Yes.
Cool breeze. Couldn't be any better.
Yeah, doing yoga in nature is a real treat, isn't it?
Sure is.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your journey with yoga. What in the beginning actually brought you to yoga that made you kind of curious about it, and what kept you coming back? Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. It's kind of interesting. My husband and I were both unemployed for a short amount of time. I was on a leave of absence from a big company, and Rick took an early buyout from the big company, and we decided that our lives needed to be more meaningful because we had just lost a child. And so somebody asked me to come back to Del Norte Club with them. I had been a member years before, and we got introduced to yoga there by a woman that we called Breathy fill in the blank, because she had such a wonderful breath with her yoga practice. And so my husband started first, and then he said, I think you ought to go to a yoga class with me. You'll love it. And I said, oh no, that's not a workout. I can't do that. Because I was into step aerobics and things like that. And decided to join him and fell in love, and have been doing it ever since. Within probably a year of being a yoga practitioner, I became interested in becoming a yoga teacher, and within 2 years was on my way to becoming a teacher, and have been doing it ever since in various forms. Originally it was more Ashtanga, more flow, more Hatha. Over the years it has become gentle yoga, chair yoga, yin yoga, and recently Kundalini yoga, which is a totally different experience.
So many different ways of doing the practice.
Yes.
And when you're describing all those and having experienced so many different ways, is there a particular reason one would choose, like give an example of maybe a particular style that you've studied, and what would somebody be saying, why would I come to do that kind of practice, like the Kundalini? What would draw somebody to do a Kundalini practice?
In my case, it was an accident.
A good one.
Yes, a good accident. I signed up for a teacher training class for some continuing education credits, and discovered that Kundalini yoga is all about awareness, divine, the love, and breathing, and chanting, and it's just so amazing. So if you're curious about breath, and knowing how important it is to our bodies and our lives, Kundalini is a great place to explore that. Hatha yoga, which is my preference, involves asana practice or postures, and if you're more inclined to be moving, that would be an attraction for that one.
So more a classic workout kind of thing where there's a little strengthening and so on.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
So, and I'm still a flow yoga person, and
nice to be able to branch out into some of these
Yes,
other
it really
other
is.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Toni, I have to share with you, did her training at White Lotus Foundation in Santa Barbara. And after I was so enthralled with her practice, I was like, I need to do the same thing. So she encouraged me to go there, and that's where we ended up both training. So
A
good.
fabulous but killer training.
Yes.
We both did the 16-day,
Very intense.
yeah, intense practice.
But so beautiful there in Santa
Oh,
Barbara, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So
now we're at this part in our lives, Toni, where COVID has all of a sudden hit our world.
yes.
And, for better or for worse, how has that kind of impacted your connection with yoga and exercise and movement and all of that and how are you working with that or not working with it?
Yes, yes. Early on in lockdown mode, I started walking again, which is something I've done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even did yoga, I was, a walker. And I started doing that again. And then the days started getting hotter, and I decided that I didn't really want to walk in the heat. So I started doing some additional classes. And of course, a lot of those were the Kundalini classes. But I decided not to meet in public places and not teach in closed rooms. And so I have been Zooming and Facebook Live classes.
And it's very different, isn't it?
It's very different. It's because in Facebook Live you have no idea who's looking at you. On the Zoom classes, I have, the Hollywood squares, pictures of people who are joining me. And
Which is a little connection that way.
And I can talk to them, and, we always have a little conversation before we get started and after we finish. And so that has probably kept me at least a little bit sane through this.
Right.
Because I am a group exerciser.
Yes.
I've always liked practicing in groups, not a solo sport fan at all.
Right. Yeah.
And but I'm still isolating because of my age and because I'm a diabetic.
Yes.
And I really have to be careful.
Yes.
And yes.
So we have to respect the physical distancing for sure.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear how you're kind of working out your new routines given the circumstance that the whole world is facing.
Yeah. It's, it's a challenge.
It
There's
is.
no doubt about it. It's a challenge.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you again for joining me for practice. We're going to come down on our mat and start our practice in our Savasana position. That's always a good way to start practice. So take a moment to unfold your body against the earth. And just let the body settle a bit. Beginning to deepen the breath. And let the exhales be long. We'll have a little pranayama practice here by on the inhale holding the words sa, ta, na, ma in your inhale and a big long om in the exhale. And if it helps you focus, you can bring the thumb and the forefinger together with sa, and then move the thumb to the middle finger with ta, the ring finger with na, and the pinky with ma. And release the hand for om. If that little mantra seems a bit much to remember, you can just also do ah on the inhale and om on the exhale.
And finishing the breath that you're on and taking one more. And then letting the breath return to the native breath, just observing the flow. I'll share with you a Maya Angelou quote. She writes, "I long, as do creatures everywhere, to feel at home wherever I find myself. I long, as do creatures everywhere, to feel at home wherever I find myself." Taking a moment to welcome yourself home to this moment of your life. Bringing a little attention across the eyes and just feeling a little smile there of welcome, welcoming yourself. And then bringing that smile into the mouth and the lips and just allowing a welcome to be there. And then into the throat with the next breath, softening and smiling into the throat. And then into the heart, feeling that welcome smile right across the upper chest and over the heart. And when you're ready, bring your left knee in towards your chest and wrap the hands around the knee and just draw that left knee in a little. Then draw a few circles with the left knee, lubricating the hip joint a bit. And let the left knee drift off to the left. And then gently bring it across the body, placing it in the right hand, and take a long spinal twist off to the right. The left arm open in a T off to the left. Big breath in, and let it go. Gently rotating back to center. And draw the right knee in as you let the left heel go long. Draw some circles with the right knee. Then let the right knee drift off a little bit to the right. And gently bring the right knee across the body into the left hand. And take a long spinal twist off to the other side. And take the gaze off to the right with the arm outstretched. And then gently lift that knee back to center. Bring the arms out in cactus and maybe drill the elbows down towards the earth a bit. And bring the shins up into tabletop. And we'll continue to warm up that low spine just a bit. Drifting both knees off towards the right. And on the exhale, bring them back up into tabletop. Inhale off to the left. Exhale up to the right. And up. And to the left. And up. Once more each side. And to the left. And bring the knees into the chest for a gentle hug. Roll the back just a bit. And placing the hands behind the thighs, come on up into a seated posture. And we're going to roll all the way over onto our hands and knees. And continue to warm up the spine. The little cat-cow. Knees are underneath the hips and hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale into Bittilasana. Gaze comes forward, the tailbone lifts. Exhale, scoop the navel in, arch the back. Marjariasana. Inhale, Bittilasana. Exhale, Marjariasana. Following your breath here. As slow or as fast as feels good for your body. Always listening into that yogi inside of you. The body gives us thousands of little messages to listen to. Years and years of evolution have given us a very wise and wonderful body. And then pausing in table, we'll take a little balance table here. So both hands are still down, and we'll press the right heel back, letting that leg be long, like an extension from the crown through the heel. And then just pulse that up with 5 breaths. So lifting the heel a little, and again, and again, and again, and once more. And then if you're comfortable, adding the left thumb to the sky. Feel a little longer line of energy from that left fingertip right through the heel. Take a big breath in, and exhale, growing long. Bring the left hand down to the mat and the ball of the right foot to the mat. And take a bit of a calf stretch here, really stretching through that heel. Feel the calf extend a little. And then bringing both knees back to the mat, cleansing breath. And taking it to the other side now, push the left heel out. Feel that nice long line of energy from the crown right through the heel. And taking your gaze just a little beyond the mat so the neck is comfortable and long. Pulsing the heel up with the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now adding that right thumb to the sky. A little longer line of energy. Big breath in. Exhale, lengthen. Bring that hand down to the mat and the ball of the foot to the mat. And take a bit of a calf stretch there. And then gently bring that knee down. We're going to unfold our body right on down to the mat. We're going to take a couple cobras here. So planting the hands underneath the shoulder points and zipping the legs a bit together. On the inhale, lift into cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Maybe even drawing the hands back and the forearms back just a little bit as you lift. Heart coming forward. Exhale, soften. Now let's take a breath over the right shoulder as you lift. Gaze over the right shoulder. And exhale, soften. Inhale, lift over the left shoulder. And soften. Cleansing breath here. We'll move into a little Shalabhasana. So reaching the arms out in front of you, and then on the exhale, draw them back like a rainbow and lift a little through the heart. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale and lift with the rainbow. And exhale back. Bring the hands underneath the forehead, resting the hands on the forehead on the hands. And we're going to focus more on the heels now. So finding your breath, and with the next breath, lifting the heels just a little bit, more length through the body than lift. And release. Inhale and lift. 'And' release. 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 'And' r Now bringing the hands alongside the hips with the fingertips pointing towards the toes. Draw the elbows into the side body. Pressing the palms down, draw the elbows together, and we'll lengthen as much as we can with the tiniest of lift through the heels and the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Bring the hands back under the forehead and release. Planting the hands underneath the shoulder points, tucking the toes, and pushing the hips up and back all the way to the heels. And having the toes tucked, let's feel a bit of a soul stretch there. And we'll reach our arms up nice and tall. And release the arms to the side. And this time scoop the air up like a reverse rainbow and bring the hands all the way to the top. Exhale, namaste. Inhale, scoop the air. Exhale, hands to heart, namaste. Inhale, scoop the air. Exhale, namaste. Once more, scoop the air. And then turn and twist to the left. Bring both hands to the outside of the knee and the hip. Rotate a little bit off to the left. Inhale, sweep the arms top. Exhale, a twist to the right. And release. Coming back to a seated posture, and let's untuck our toes a little bit. And then we'll walk our hands forward, tucking our toes and coming all the way to a down dog. Pedaling out the backs of the leg. Feeling our first down dog for the practice. And the hands be spread nice and wide. And then floating out to plank. And drop the knees and push the hips back towards the heels, lengthening out from fingertips to tailbone. Inhale forward and squeeze the glutes a little in a modified up dog. Lift through the heart. Exhale, push the hips back. Inhale, tucking the toes, come to plank. And exhale, push to down dog. One more time, pedaling out the back of the heels. And then taking a glance between the thumbs, gently walk the feet up to meet the hands, coming to a forward fold. Take a moment to enjoy the inversion. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way to the top. And exhale, hands to heart. Thank you. That's a nice little warm-up. Okay, coming to the top of the mat, begin with a little bit of a flow practice. So finding your mountain posture, letting the weight land in the heels. Feel that tallness through the spine. Inhale and reach the arms up. Option to interclasp the hands. We're going to grow nice and tall. We'll take a side bend off to the right. Exhale. Inhale, tall. Exhale, left. Inhale, tall. Exhale, right. Inhale, up. And left. Keep the spine tall. And right. Inhale, up. And left. Inhale up and release the hands. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold and step both feet back for a plank. Taking one breath in plank. And then bringing yourself down, knees, chest, and chin. We'll inhale into that cobra. And exhale down. And we're going to take another cobra, but press a little harder into the right side hand and lift through the right heel as you gaze over the right shoulder. And release. Inhale, press a little harder into the left side. So you lift up the left heel, gaze over the shoulder, and release. Inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale down. Tuck the toes and push the hips back towards the heels. Float on out to a plank. And exhale to a down dog. Inhale the right heel up. Bend that knee and stack the hips for a moment, just getting a good stretch there. Flexing that right ankle, foot. Then lengthen out through that right foot again and bring that foot forward between the hands. And so I like to use my block here. I like to take an active pigeon, but you take any version of pigeon that works for you. So I heel toe over the right foot to the left corner of the mat and slowly bring down that right knee as I gently work the hip on that right side for a little bit of a stretch there. A little lift through the heart and breathing with that stretch. Many of you know I don't have much flexibility in my hips. I'm always working on that. And then gently walking that right foot back into the lunge position and bring the left foot forward to meet the right. Coming to forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hands to heart. And release. Finding yourself coming back to your mountain posture. And maybe taking just a moment for a gratitude. Wherever you are, just noticing what you have in your life and letting that grow just a bit. Then we'll move into this practice on the other side. So feel that tallness in the body. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, tall. Exhale, left. Inhale up and to the right. Inhale and left. Inhale and right. Inhale and left. Inhale, tall. Exhale and fold. Pausing for just a moment in your fold and nodding the head yes to release the neck a bit and maybe side to side. And then walk both hands over to the outside of the left foot. Bringing the left hand to the left hip and bending the right knee. Getting a little more intense stretch in that left leg. Your heart comes more towards the left knee. And gently releasing the hands back to the center and walk over to the right foot. One hand on the foot and the other on the hip. Straightening through the right leg, bending the left knee. As you exhale, draw the heart towards the knee, feeling into that stretch and always backing away from any pain. And then gently walking back into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and lengthen through the crown, draw the shoulder blades down. Exhale, fold, and step back to our plank. One breath in plank. Exhale down the knees, the chest, and the chin. Inhale, draw the palms back as you lift into Cobra. Exhale, soften. Press a little harder into the right side. As you lift, look over the shoulder and lift the heel. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift to the other side on the left. Over the shoulder, lengthen through the toe. And exhale, soften. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, soften. Tuck the toes and push the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, floating forward to plank. And exhale, down dog. Pedaling out the back of the legs just a bit. Inhale, lift the left heel. Bend that left knee and stack the hips. Lengthen out through that left foot. And on the exhale, bring it forward between the hands. Coming to your runner's lunge. I'm going to move into our active pigeon again. Heel toe over to the right corner of the mat. And bring the left knee down towards the mat. Getting that stretch in the outer hip just a bit. And just really listen into your body to find out what's the right degree of stretch there. And breathing with it. And then when you're ready, heel toe that foot back into the lunge position. Frame the foot and step the right foot forward for forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hands to heart. And release. Okay, coming to the top of your mat, we'll take our next flow, which will be a C series. Surya Namaskara C. So feeling your mountain posture, the weight in the heel, stacking the joints, tallness through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, swan dive, folding at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, stepping back on the right, coming to our runner's lunge. 2 lanes of traffic here. Letting the hips lower a bit, the heart lift. Leaving the right hand down, sweep the left hand to the sky in a runner's lunge twist. Bring the left hand down, and then steadying yourself with these 2 lanes of traffic. So push the feet a little bit away from each other. And gently rise, coming into our crescent lunge. 1 or 2 breaths here. And exhale and fold. Drop the back heel, coming into a single lane of traffic. You might need to heel toe over the front foot. Bring the left elbow to the left knee. Raise that right arm to the sky, extended side angle. 1 breath here. And bring that top arm over the ear, feeling that long spear-like energy, fingertip to heel. And then sweep on up to our favorite pose, Warrior 2. 2 or 3 breaths here. Windmill the back arm, coming all the way down to the mat. And step the left foot back to meet the right. 1 breath in plank. And then taking or skipping your flow. And we all meet in down dog. In down dog, make sure the hands are nice and flat on the earth and the weight is borne at the base of the thumb and the first two fingers. Lift the tailbone towards the sky. Inhale, reach the right heel up. Bring it forward between the hands. Leaving the left hand down, sweep the right hand to the sky. Runner's lunge, twist. Bring the right hand down and step the left foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep to the top. Exhale, hands to the heart. Repositioning your mountain a little if you've moved on your mat. We'll take these moves on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, stepping back on the left. Taking a moment to let the hips sink just a bit and the heart lift. Bring the left hand down, sweep the right hand to the sky. We were just here in our dragonfly or runner's lunge twist. And bringing the right hand down to frame the foot. Bring some attention to the feet in the two lanes of traffic and begin to push them away from each other. So you gently lighten the weight of the hands off the mat. Rise to crescent lunge. Exhale and fold. Drop the back heel, toes out to 9 o'clock, heel toe over the forward foot, so you've got one lane of traffic. Bring the right elbow to the right knee and sweep that left arm up to the sky, extended side angle. Opening the heart to the side. Keeping that right knee right over the ankle. Letting that top arm drift over the ear if that feels okay for your shoulder and arm. And then windmill up to a warrior two. Checking in with your back arm. A lot of times mine likes to drift down, so just checking in with that. Making sure you feel the lift of both arms as they reach for infinity. Softening in the face. And windmill on down to the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. And then taking your flow here, knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga. Whatever is working for you, or skipping flow. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And exhale, coming to down dog. And taking a breath here. And then lifting the left heel. And on the exhale, bring it forward between the hands. Runner's lunge. Leaving our right hand down this time. Left hand to the sky for the twist. Then bring the left hand down to frame the foot, and on the exhale, stepping to forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep to the top. And exhale, hands to heart. And release. Okay, coming to the top of your mat and now facing the long edge of your mat, we're going to come to the middle of the mat and step out into about a 3/4 stride, toes pointed outward, and then just lower the hips a little bit, trying to keep the knees over the ankles, arms up in cactus for our goddess squat. So finding your breath here, let the weight drift into the heels and push the heels apart to keep those legs nice and strong. We're going to exhale to namaste.
Inhale, open to cactus. Exhale, namaste. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, namaste. Inhale, cactus. And then reach the arms out long. Exhale the thumbs back. Again, inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Once more. And then push into the heels and come on up to standing, giving those thighs just a little bit of a break. And bring the hands together and drop all the way down to what is your lowest squat. If some people are able to make it all the way down to their hips on the heels, that's great. If you're not, wherever you are is great. I like to put my elbows between my knees to help with my hip stretch. We're going to grow a little tree from here. So push that left branch out, and then the right one. Squeeze the glutes, left branch, and the right. Squeeze the glutes, left and right. One more, left and right. And then all the way up for a nice top to our tree. Release the hands behind the sacrum. Lift through the heart. And release. We'll do that one more time, bringing the hands together in prayer and coming into our squat. Push a branch out to the left and to the right. Squeeze the glutes a little bit, and to the left and to the right. To the left, growing our tree, and to the right. To the left, to the right. And a nice top to our tree. Reaching tall and release. Then we'll put our hands on the hip crease and heel toe out to a full straddle, letting the heels be out just a little bit further than the toes. I like to keep a little micro bend in the knees so they're comfortable. And then let's take a little bit of a heart stretch here by interlacing the hands behind the sacrum and drawing the hands down. Broaden across the collarbones. Maybe draw one shoulder back on the left a little bit. And then on the right, opening the shoulders up just a little. Releasing the hands to the hip crease. Pressing on the tops of the thighs as you lengthen through the crown and gently fold the body towards the earth. Bringing the hands down right in front of you. Lowering into a bit of inversion as you walk the hands through the legs. And using that breath to help you with that stretch of the back of the legs. One or two breaths here. And then gently walking the hands out in front of you like a wide leg down dog. Let that tailbone really reach back and maybe shimmy the ribs a little bit to the left and to the right as you lengthen out from fingertips to tailbone. Bringing the hands directly under the gaze, I like to bring my block along with me and bring my hands over to the left foot, turning the left toes towards the short edge of the mat. And I take a block on the inside of that foot and trying to keep the left knee right over the ankle. And we're going to get a good stretch for me on the inner thigh, lowering the hips just a bit. You can actually turn this into an extended side angle pose as well by lifting the arm, but choosing what works for you. Feeling that stretch for a moment. And then gently lifting out of that and bringing that block on over to the right foot as you bring those toes to the short edge of the mat. And lowering the hips a little, taking that inner thigh stretch, opening the heart to the side, keeping the right knee over the right ankle. I'm seeing a bunch of dragonflies in the sky. Must be we need dragonfly twist, huh? We invited them. And then gently lifting out of that posture and returning back to the center of the mat, setting your block aside. Keeping your right hand down, take the left hand to the hip and rotate the heart to the side in that twist. And then bringing the left hand down, right hand to the hip, and rotate the heart to the side for the twist on this side. And releasing both hands to the mat and walk them back to the top of your mat. And step the right foot back to meet the left. Taking plank for 2 or 3 breaths. Maybe rocking a little bit on your toes, lengthening through the crown. Then bring the knees down to the mat and walk the legs through the arms as we begin to unwind our body for a little core practice onto the mat. So once you've come to a reclined position, we're going to take a low boat here. So let the body become nice and long. And then bring a little sunshine to your fingers by letting them spread a bit and reach those fingers forward towards the toes as you lift in the heart. And then squeeze the glutes and float the heels just a bit. And breathe. And release. Draw the heels back up right behind the glutes as we prepare for a bridge. And you might like to grab the edge of your mat or tuck your hands alongside the body. Feel a little weight in the heels. And then bring your attention to the low belly. On the exhale, push that small of your back down towards the mat. Inhale and fill the belly. Exhale, push it down. We're preparing ourselves for bridge. Inhale, fill. And on the exhale, roll that spine up. Squeeze through the glutes. Lift through the front of the hips. Tuck the shoulders under and come up into your bridge. Let the knees press forward like arrows. Little lift in the chin to keep the neck comfortable. And find your breath, always breathing. And then gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, unwind the spine towards the heels. Maybe even lifting the heels to get that small of that back down towards the earth. Once the hips are down, lengthening out the legs, we'll take another low boat. I think it was you, Toni, who told me that boats always come in threes. Okay, spreading our fingertips and reaching for the feet, lifting through the heart, squeezing the glutes and floating the heels and breathing. And release. Draw the heels back behind the glutes. Find the breath in the body as you prepare for bridge again. You have the option of doing a one-footed bridge if you'd like, or a standard bridge, whichever is going to work better for you. So if you're going to do one-footed bridge, then just let the left heel stays up and the right heel goes long.
Find that little rock in the pelvis, and with the next exhale, roll on up to your one-footed bridge. And breathing. Spike the toes to the sky and bring that right heel back to the mat. Gently exhale and unwind the spine towards the heels. And extending the heels back out, making the body long. Spreading the fingertips, lifting through the heart. Squeeze the glutes and float the heels. 5 breaths. And release. And our last bridge, bringing the heels up behind the hips. And if you're going to do a full bridge, keeping both heels here, but letting most of the weight land in our right heel. And for those of us doing a one-footed bridge, extending the left foot. Option to grab the edge of the mat or whatever works for you. Find that pelvis rock. With your next exhale, float on up to our bridge. And breathing. And put the toe to the sky. And exhale the heel to the earth. Cleansing breath. And unwind the spine, bringing that tailbone towards the heels. If you have your block nearby you, let's take it to do Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. So a little weight in the heels just to float the sacrum and slide the block right underneath the sacrum. Bring the knees in towards the chest and let the heels float towards the sky, finding that balance there. Lets you let go just a little bit. Take a nice big breath in and release. And with your next breath, if it feels good, to take an inner thigh stretch, letting the heels drift away from each other. Letting the inhales be long and the exhales releasing. With the next exhale, bringing the heels back together. And the next exhale brings the knees towards the chest. Keeping your left knee in towards the chest, let the right heel go long and reach that out and maybe even towards the earth, opening that right hip flexor a bit. And draw both knees back in towards the chest, holding the right knee. Let the left heel go long and drop it towards the earth, opening the left hip flexor a bit. And bringing the left knee back in. Slide the hands between the knees, bringing the grip around the big toes, and letting the heels reach up for the sky in a modified happy baby. And then gently releasing the heels back to the earth. Let the soles of the feet come together and the knees come out in butterfly as the arms come into cactus like a floating goddess. Just rock the sacrum back and forth as you let the knees open. A little bit of a stretch there. bring the knees back together. Plant a little weight underneath the heels and lift up enough to take the block out from underneath you. Let the left leg go long. Bring the right knee into the left hand. Right arm out in a T, and we'll end with a long spinal twist. Draw that right leg across the body. Option to lengthen out through that right leg and bring the gaze over towards the right hand or the right shoulder. Now that we have social distancing, we can extend our legs as much as we want. Used to be we'd bump into each other in yoga practice. Slide the left hand underneath the right knee and gently bring yourself back through center. Let the right heel go long as you bring the left knee in towards the chest. Placing the right hand on the knee. Left arm out in a T and draw that left knee across the body, extending that leg out if it's comfortable for you, and taking the gaze off to the left in a long spinal twist. Let your breath be full and your exhales long. And then gently lifting that leg a bit and bringing yourself back to center as you begin to unwind yourself for our final resting posture, Savasana. Unfolding the body on the earth and sensing a little bit of the echo of your practice as your back body broadens across the earth. Letting go. Revisiting our Maya quote, Maya writes, "I long, as do all creatures, to feel at home wherever I find myself." Longing to feel at home. Welcome yourself into your life, into this moment, pouring your heart into it. Softening across the brow and around the eyes where we hold so much tension. Use the breath to let go a little. Softening into the face and unhinging the jaw. Softening into the throat and letting go. Letting the shoulders drift away from the ears. The whole body, allowing it to be supported by the earth beneath you. Resting the attention on the breath right over the heart. That ever repeating rhythm, ebbing and flowing from our life. Beginning to deepen your breath just a bit, reconnecting that space inside of you with the space around you. Drinking in the breath. Finding a little bit of movement in the body or enjoying the stillness, whatever is right for you. And if a full body stretch feels good, stretching out through any or all limbs. And then when you're ready, bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a gentle hug. And the option of rocking a little bit side to side, comforting the low back. Taking a moment to appreciate your willingness to come to the mat to care for this body that holds your life. When you're ready, in your time and in your way, coming to a seated posture to close our practice time together. Bringing the hands into prayer. Thank you for joining me in practice today. You continue to welcome yourself home into your life, into each moment. May you know peace. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, Toni. I so appreciated you coming out and sharing practice with me this morning.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful.
It feels great to get a stretch, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And there's nothing like nature. You know, when I'm hearing the little birds talking and everything, it's just like, this is where we belong in this world, in nature.
I had a hummingbird right above me.
Did you really?
During most of the practice.
How sweet is that?
Yeah. It kept taking off and then coming back, and I go, oh, it likes me.
Yeah. It sees how
Yes.
sweet you are, like nectar. Thank you again, Toni. You have a beautiful week.
Thank you.
And goodbye to all of you. Thank you for joining me.